I realize I don't know how to make YouTube videos. I realize it takes a certain amount of persistence and patience to even watch one of my videos, and I have a hard time watching them myself. So I sympathize with anyone who comes to my videos and says this is going too slow. Anyway, I'm learning. I'm going to get it under control. I will, but I've spent my life painting and writing mostly, although I did do some acting on stage. But that's rehearsing a script. What I do on these videos is I turn it on and I start talking. Now, I may have gone through the theme of what I'm talking about the day before, so I have a kind of general idea, but I still spend a lot of time thinking about the next thing I'm going to say. And I realize it takes patience. All right. One of the issues that we all deal with is being seen in any depth by the world. We grow up with parents who don't really see that essential thing in us. We grow up without a real reflection of who we are. And that makes it hard for us to see ourselves. So, what we end up doing is we try to adapt traits and things that'll make us interesting. We try to attach things to ourselves that makes us look good to other people. That's really the wrong way to go. Um, One of the things that I keep coming back to in painting and writing is it is when it's successful, it's a mirror of your soul. It really looks into something deep in yourself. You're not pretending, you're not trying to attract attention, you're trying to get to the truth, which is not easy to do, especially since we are trained by our society, our education, and so on, to take on virtues and suppress things that don't conform to those virtues. And instead of actually exploring what it is we actually feel, what it is we actually think, what our real reactions really are, and what the implications are. If you create some art, one of the things that really makes it work is you you start to channel an energy that comes from a deeper place in yourself. It's not the adapted self that was formed by what you were supposed to show to the world. It's how you actually are, it's how you actually feel. And what really does fascinate you, what combinations of elements are really natural to you, and what themes uh, are have a kind of magnetic force in your life. That's what art is able to do. That social adjustment and the kind of education we get and the kind of social pressures we get can't do. It just can't do it. So this is why I have I have pursued the arts all my life, because I felt like I could then learn about myself. I could really learn and become who I really am in the world. And that's not easy to do if you're forced to conform and you're also denied the vision and the perspicuity of your elders. If the older people around you, your teachers and parents, have no idea, no ability to see who you are, it is difficult to become yourself. You can get lost just because you're trying to be something you're not so that people will even notice you. There's nothing worse, really. Um, you can lose your whole life that way. This is why I talk about art and artists the way I do, because I feel like it's the way of truth. It is the way to actually hold the mirror up to your soul. If you can actually see what it is you have inside you, what you're capable of, what you really do feel, what really attracts you, and what really doesn't attract you, you start to learn who you are. This is not something that our society actually spends a lot of time on. One of the reasons I really enjoyed psychotherapy is because I could just say anything and not be judged. That was the opposite of the way I grew up in my family. You really had to watch your P's and Q's. Um, and there was a lot of pressure to be a certain kind of person, a certain kind of scholar, a certain kind of um, figure in the world. And frankly, um, I saw one of my brothers actually didn't survive that pressure. And at age 19 and 20, I decided no matter what, I was going to stick to what I wanted to do. And I don't care what kind of criticism my father had, what kind of inability to see me the world might have had. I was going to do what I felt was important for me. And it was touch and go sometimes. It was not easy. But unless you're capable of doing what you're really made for, you're not going to find out who you are. I think that this is one of the big issues in our society now. Being successful on a social in a social environment, maybe that's it's okay if you can do it easily, but if you have a hard time with that, I think that you may be an eccentric person. I think you should embrace that and just be who you are.